I am so grateful for Dr. Warren and his knowledge and his team. I'm back.
Going with Dr. Warren and his group, they're super helpful and they really care about you individually as a patient, and they really want to customize something that will help you get better, and it works. Like, it does.
It was just night and day. At some point it just became like, wow, this is what I remember feeling like, before all of this got so out of control.
Thank you for everything that you guys did. You really saved my life from who knows what it could have been.
I didn't know it was a tick, first of all. And so I was just very tired, very achy, and actually day by day it got worse that quick.
I got tired real easy. I started getting headaches every single day. I would wake up with a headache.
I just knew something was going on with me. Something was different. Something changed.
Extreme fatigue, needing just 10 plus hours of sleep, sometimes restless sleep. My brain would just shut off. Like, it'd be 8, 9 p.m. and literally I just couldn't function at all. It's like somebody took a switch and just flipped it and I had nothing.
I was having migraines. I started having panic attacks.
I could barely walk. I was sleeping all the time. I was in a lot of pain, headaches.
Memory issues, joint pain, depression started setting in. Lots of brain fog. I was in 8th grade at the time, so I had a lot of trouble learning and kind of processing things.
I started getting air starved, and I think the worst was I was so loopy and dizzy at times, and
my balance was off. It was just kind of a mess. Motion sickness was terrible.
The brain fog, they call it, perfect description. I wouldn't even remember what I did or where I was going. I'd start going somewhere and couldn't even remember where I was heading. I did go to my family doctor. He told me that I was depressed.
My eyes were just really goofy. It's like they weren't working together. One would just kind of start floating off, and I'd start seeing double.
I couldn't remember anything, and I was used to remembering things for years, and that was gone.
One morning, I physically could not even get out of bed. I couldn't move my body. I wanted to, but I couldn't move.
Joint pain and stiffness was a huge one for me. And then like these muscle twitches, like when you get the shivers, like that, but like whole body twitches.
I just knew something was going on with me. Something was different. Something changed. I started having the suicidal kind of impulses. I went from a very normal person in my 30s to someone I didn't recognize anymore.
I started tearing up last night because it was a long journey for me, and I was lost for quite a long time.
It was just nobody, really could figure out what it was. They ran a bunch of tests and, you look good. You are so healthy compared to the rest of the population. And I am like, no, I am not. There is something wrong with me.
When I came back for my follow-up appointment 2 weeks later, I told him that I was no better and antibiotics didn't help at all. He went over my blood work, which was all perfectly normal again. He said, you don't have anything. There's nothing I can do for you. The antibiotics didn't make you feel better. And my blood work says you don't have anything. So I don't really know how else I can help you.
Girlfriend of mine who's a nephrologist, I called her because one morning I physically could not even get out of bed. So she ran a bunch of blood tests and she found the Lyme. She sent me to an infectious disease doctor. They sent me directly to the hospital and they put a PICC line in. I had that in for 6 weeks. And at the end of the 6 weeks, I will say that I felt great and I continued to feel good, but only for about maybe 2 or 3 months.
How's it back?
Oh, absolutely. And I knew this time. I knew what the feelings were, the tired, the lethargic, and I kept telling people that, and nobody was listening again.
No one has ever done any blood work. No one has ever mentioned any of that. So I was kind of at a low. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to talk to. Nothing was helping. So it was probably about a month, 2 months after that is when I called you guys and we did it.
What impressed me when I met you is that wow, that's emotional. You sat with me for 90 minutes and listened to my story because it was important. And I've never had a medical professional do that.
What impressed me and made me decide, yeah, let's pull the trigger is that it was doing blood work and it was very thorough across the board. Let's look at everything that Lyme's related that it could be, and then let's really focus in on a custom treatment for you.
You really just sounded like you knew a lot about this, more than anybody that I had talked to here. Obviously, I, went to an infectious disease doctor who had really no idea what Bartonella was.
And your blood tests were different. Everything was different with you. And
I'm just so grateful for your expertise. People should know that you're not you get out and go to these seminars with your colleagues and listen to these other people and what their experiences are, compare notes and so forth, and it pays off.
Thank you for everything that you guys did. You really saved my life from who knows what it could have been.
I 6 to 8 weeks, I felt 100% better, and I cannot believe the difference.
I did feel a difference within probably the first 3-6 months.
I was very fortunate that I'm 6 months, maybe 7 or 8 months now into treatment, and I'm in a different place entirely. Like I'm happy and I am able to get around and do things. I can work a full day and not feel exhausted.
There was some inflammation and swelling and stuff like that we're fighting against, right? And my system was very sensitive and didn't like to drain. Like my lymphatic system didn't like to drain. And so we had to go very slow. Well, I saw some impacts pretty quickly, but maybe not like a significant jump in improvement for, I don't know, 6-ish months. I don't have the sort of brain shut-off problems anymore. I have a lot less of those jitters or twitches. The muscle stiffness is a lot less. And some days I don't have any, which is kind of exciting.
The middle of December of the same year, I was remembering what it felt like to feel good again. I had a little bit of energy back. I was not, in this depressive state where I just feel like my world's falling apart. I could start to see some light at the end of the tunnel. That was 2021. It is 2024, and I'm a different person. I enjoy life again and feel 99% normal most of the time.
I am like 90-95%. My brain is back. My ADD is back. Multiple thoughts running through the head. And I'm able, my output, for work is amazing. I'm very creative, and I am, I'm doing Pilates a couple times a week. I'm at the gym lifting weights. It's just such a difference.
I honestly did not come into this a believer. I told you, and I will tell you, but it absolutely works. I'm proof, and I know other people that have done it, and your blood tests were different. Everything was different with you. And I absolutely feel now I'm seriously 1,000,000% better.
Be your own advocate.
Going with Dr. Warren and his group, they're super helpful, and they really care about you individually as a patient, and they really want to customize something that will help you get better, and it works. Like, it does.
Yeah, these guys are great at restorative. I would recommend to anybody. If you are in any doubt, call. If they can't help you, they know somebody that can help you.
I am so grateful for Dr. Warren and his knowledge and his team. I'm back.
When my mom, who's been the majority of the person to walk this journey with me, even she's saying over the phone that she's like, you just sound different. And she's like, I got my son back. And that was a emotional but happy thing to hear.
I was skeptical. My husband was pretty skeptical about the situation, like you need to be like on real meds. And I'm like, well, I've already been on real meds and that didn't work. So I'm going to try this route. And he was supportive of me, even though he was a little skeptical. And he will tell you today that he's glad that he, didn't talk me out of it. And he's glad that I went with it, and it ended up working out great for me.
I would not hesitate one bit to come back here again with any sort of problems.
If I had anything to say with people that are coming to you, you do a good job of telling them you're peeling an onion here. You got to take these diseases one at a time. You have to break through these biofilms that are developed. And more than anything else, I tell people you must adhere strictly to the protocol without fail. Don't mess around with it. Don't say, well, I'll skip this or skip that. And I did that, and it paid off. So here I am.
Seriously, continue looking for a doctor who's going to hear you out and is going to listen, and understand that even though most doctors do mean well and they're trying their best, standard modern medicine has not caught all the way up to treating in the way that we need to for Lyme disease and the co-infections that come along with it. And if you find yourself watching this video, I'd encourage you to also look into Dr. Warren, and I think you'll be pleased to find that this is someone who can help.
Hey y'all, Dr. Warren here. Thanks for watching our video collage of different patient testimonials. The reason we really wanted to do that was really just to communicate hope. So many people, when they come, that's really what you're struggling with, is just seeing that you could be better. And I hope that, hearing some other people's stories of who were very sick and in different stages of being sick, who are now better and healthy and living their life, gives you hope that you can do that too. The other two main things I just want to highlight is how different and individual each person was, and just how the various testing that we do and the thorough approach we have helps me kind of customize and individualize all those different people you saw. And so none of those protocols were the same, and I believe that's also something really missing in healthcare, is that individualization approach at that root cause level. So I hope that you enjoyed that. It gave you hope, and that with some an individualized approach with accurate testing, you too can be healthy and can live your best life again. Thank you.